This is an audio podcast of the novel Well of Sins, of Chastity and Lust, by Richard and Bonnie King. For more information, and for further Well of Sins stories, visit wellofsins.com. Chapter 2. The slapping sound of bare footfalls on stone echoed through the halls of the Trojan palace. This was not the pitter-patter of little feet, though they were small. The steps were hurried and frantic, as was the breathing that accompanied them. A young girl, no more than 10, tore through the corridors with fearful determination. Her long, sleep-mussed hair whipped behind her as she ran, and her nightdress threatened to get tangled in her legs. She hiked the hem up so that she could continue unhindered. She had to get to her mother immediately, though she dreaded the message she had to deliver. Moments earlier, she had wakened from the most horrid nightmare. Destruction had surrounded her, and as much as she tried, there was no escaping it. Even after waking completely, the acrid smell of smoke filled her nostrils, and the cries of thousands of terrified people rang in her ears. The sounds of clashing swords followed her down the hallway as she ran, the heat of imaginary fires prickling her skin. This was no dream she had fallen into. It was a vision of the worst sort, and she knew without a doubt how it would all begin. That is, unless she could stop it. She slowed her steps as she neared the room in which her mother was giving birth. She gasped loudly for breath, as she wondered just when and how the corridors had grown so much in length. She lifted a bare foot and rubbed it, her heels having taken the brunt of the pounding force as they slapped against the stone floors. Her respite was brief, though, as the sound of her ragged breathing was eclipsed by the indignant shriek of the newly born. Fearing that she was already too late, she resumed her journey, ignoring the burning pain coursing through her lungs and small limbs. She poured every last ounce of speed she had into her legs as her destination came into view. The pair of guards waiting outside the doors looked slightly ill, more than likely due to the screaming her mother had undoubtedly unleashed. She sprinted straight past them without difficulty. The doors, however, were a different matter altogether. They didn't open quickly enough, causing her to collide with them. This added bodily force made the doors fly open and crash into the wall behind them. A stunned silence followed in which she thrust her urgent message, "Kill the child!" Everyone in the room stared at her as if she had gone mad. Even the newborn grew eerily quiet.